Monday. It's back to you again, I see. Well, I guess it's time to start working on yesterday's video and possibly start on today's. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday. A new week, a new month, and it's officially October, the month of Disney. That's right, we are getting closer to the big Disney trip for me, and it's just right around the corner. I keep saying it's a few days away, but really and honestly, it's actually quite a few more days away than just one or two. But in my mind, we are a lot closer than we were when I first made the reservations and when I first started talking about it. So that's all that really matters to me. Is that. I'm also trying out a new thing. I like using my iPhone to record versus using my big camera, just because the big camera, it takes a lot more effort to edit, where I can edit everything in iMovie and then just drop it into my editor on the computer in the morning or in that evening and then edit it there. So I'm trying to do something new. I do not have a tripod for my camera or for my iPhone, which I want to get one. I just have not got one. So if you have an iPhone tripod or a camera tripod that you can use with a cell phone, preferably an iPhone 7 Plus or 8X if I ever get around to getting one, please leave it in the comments below, because I would really like to get a good tripod that I can use so that I don't have to use what I'm currently using, which is a candle holder with a candle on top and the phone is propped up on it. It's kind of cheap, but it's working right now, right? It's getting the job done and getting the video recorded for the day. So yeah, it's just going to be another Monday for me. Work's got to be done. It's been fairly busy, actually. I guess because it is the first of the month. Not so much busy for me, but busy for my employees. They've been kind of running around trying to get everything sorted out for the day. So me, on the other hand, I've been kind of doing what I do. Took a little break, just started some laundry. Yeah, you know, that stuff that we have to do, that adulting stuff. So started some laundry and currently just kind of taking a little break, enjoying some music in the background just to kind of get my Monday going. I did wake up to the unfortunate news this morning. I was telling someone this morning, I seem to sleep through most tragic events that take place in history. I slept through most all of them, and unfortunately I slept through this morning's, and I woke up to see the tragic events that took place in Las Vegas. Truly terrible thing. I have friends and employees that live in Vegas, and so I awoke to a little bit of a panic this morning, trying to figure and sort everything out. It truly is heartbreaking to hear and see about that. I mean, it really is. I'm not going to get too deep into the political sides because, you know, if you come to this channel, I don't talk about political stuff. I don't talk about a lot of things outside of what I do on a day-to-day and some really cool things about Disney and other stuff. But let's just say we're at the point where something probably should be done to kind of curb type of activities like this. You know, I received a text message from my mother this morning, and there was a dog that just ran through my yard, just random squirrel. I've never seen that dog before. I don't know who it belongs to. The people closest to me do have dogs, but not that one. Anyway, so yeah, my mother texted me this morning. She was like, you know, be safe while you're gone to Disney, because, you know, you never know. And it's true, Disney does garner a large clientele, a large amount of people at one time. Their security protocol is very strict as far as inside of the parks. When you go into the parks, you have to go through a metal detector and badge check regardless of who you are. So that's pretty awesome and precautionary. Most of the resorts, you can't get into the resort without a reservation, but that's not to say somebody couldn't go into the resort and do something. But I would imagine they also have quite a large observation. I do know that they have a huge security team that are constantly watching everything. If you have a magic band, which most every guest will have a magic band or a RF chip in their card, regardless of who they are. If they're staying there, they have one, and they know where you are at any given moment. So that's kind of the thing for Disney. They always know where you are no matter what. And it's kind of creepy, but it's also cool because it does help with crowd control and crowd flow and security. But every time I've gone to Disney, I feel comfortable and fine. Disney Springs weirds me out because there's a lot of people, and as you guys know, I work from home. And I don't really like large crowds in general. I don't like large groups of people in numbers. Disney's an exception because it's so big, it stretches you and widens out quite a bit. But Disney Springs, I don't really go to, but just for a little bit. Nothing really there entices me except for there's one restaurant, Portobello's, it's really good. Excuse me, which was closed when I was there last year. So did not go, but the only reason to really go to Disney Springs is for the pin trading store and just to take the boat ride, really, because I like taking the boat ride around. But this time around, there won't be a boat ride available for me to get to Disney Springs, so I'll have to take a bus or drive. And I don't know if you've ever been to Disney, but when I go to Disney, I don't drive. I have free tickets to play miniature golf, which I may have to drive for, which I might actually do, because this trip, like I said, I have 2 days scheduled off that are going to be do nothing days. So I might actually put that to use for once. Who knows? Anyway, so it is a very tragic situation that took place, and I don't want to bring down your Monday or your Tuesday if you're watching this on Tuesday, which is typically what you do. But I don't want to bring down your day, but it is something that I wanted to just kind of mention. That, you know, I do know people that live out there. I have friends that have lived out there and have moved back. And, you know, it could have happened anywhere to anyone. And I'm thankful there's not as many, you know, could have been worse. There could have been a lot more people injured and a lot more people who are no longer with us. So definitely keeping all of those out there in our thoughts out here. And we're strong. We'll get it back together. So let's get Tuesday. Well, your Tuesday, my Monday started, and get it over with so we can move on with the rest of the day. Also, don't forget, today is Pin Mail Monday. That's kind of something I'm trying to keep going. I do not have new pins today, but I do have pins on the way. I actually ordered a pin yesterday that was from the 35th anniversary of Epcot. I was here. I did not get to be there, but I did have friends that were there. So I did manage to get a hold of some pins. I really wanted the Funko Figment Pop. They put them online this morning, right when I woke up. They put them in the Disney store for purchase. I had one in my cart, and by the time I went to buy it, it was sold out. So they are on eBay right now for almost, anywhere from between $70 to $80 to $90 to $100. And I'm like, please Disney, release some more so I don't have to pay $100 for a pop figure that I really would like to have. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But I do have a new pin coming. But what I'm going to do today, since I don't have any new pins that have come in yet, I do have some on the way. But until I get some here, what I will do is go over some of the pins that I currently have, maybe a set or two, to kind of show you some of the pins that you can potentially get or collect. So, as I was saying, let's get Monday started. Alright, as a part of today, which is Pin Mail Monday, you are going to see some pins, obviously. As I mentioned a minute ago, I don't have any new pins currently. I do have one on the way that we'll talk about once it gets here. But until it gets here, I have this pin set that I would like to show you. This particular pin set is kind of tying into what took place yesterday. Yesterday was Epcot's 35th anniversary. So, of course, they have a new mystery pin set that just came out featuring the land icon pavilions from the original Epcot. But this is actually from the 30th anniversary of Epcot. There were 10 pins in the set, and it's kind of hard to see on this screen because of the way I'm zoomed in on it. But there are all 10 pins on this board. This board is actually a board that I normally keep within glass or encased because I'm really proud of this set. It features a lot of pins that have Figment on it. And as you guys know, I'm a pretty good fan of Figment, and I really enjoy Figment pins and anything that he pretty much is a part of. So every one of these pins features Figment, and there are 10 pins in the set featuring the icons of the original pavilions, as well as the characters or items from said pavilion. So it was a really, really cool set to work on and collect. and complete actually. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I finished the set, because getting these mystery sets and finishing them is not easy at all. But first, let's look at some of the pins. We're going to start with one of the main pins, and I don't know if you can see, yep, you can see it on the screen, this one right here. That would be the original Journey into the Imagination with Dreamfinder and Figment. Now, I have some duplicates, so I don't have to pull these off the board. I'm going to show you some of the duplicates. If I can get my phone to focus on that. There we go. So there you go. You can see a little bit clearer shot of it. It's the big 3-0 with the Land Pavilion icon here, and then Dreamfinder in Figment happily being held by his creator there. And the back of the pin looks pretty much the same. It does say celebrating the 30th here. It has the typical logo and your waffle prints on it as well. So when you do these mystery sets, I don't know if you've ever done one or not, when you're wanting to complete the set, you typically have to buy a lot of pins. And I do mean a lot of pins. When you're purchasing these, they come in two, as you can see in the box, it contains 2 randomly selected pins. In each box you get 2. Sometimes they are going to be 2 different ones, and well, most of the time they're going to be 2 different ones. I don't think I've ever gotten one that has the same 2 in it, but a lot of times you'll buy 4 or 5 of these boxes. These boxes originally retailed for $13.95, so you buy 4 or 5 of these boxes, you spend a large amount of money, and you end up with duplicates, and that is exactly what happened to me. Here's another one from this set. This would be Figment with Horizons. It's again the 30. I really like the glitter on these. I don't really like glitter a lot in pins, but it really worked well for this particular set. Again, the back with the 30th there. I really do like this set a lot. And I will tell you, a lot of times you can complete these sets a lot cheaper ordering them online. So this set originally, that's why there are duplicates that I do have some of that are in this set, and that is because I ordered some of them and I traded for some of them, and then you boxed for some of them. So with this particular set, what I did is I ordered, did some trading and got some of the set, which would have been some of the ones I have that are duplicates. And then I found a gentleman selling the rest of the set that I didn't have online. He was actually selling them individually. He had 3 full sets that he had unboxed. And so I just purchased them on eBay from him. And then ultimately, of course, I had duplicates. And the duplicates I would probably sell or trade off. I probably would trade for something more specific. I would probably not trade for them in the park because they are fairly large pins. As you can see, again, with this one, with the Living Seas and Figment here, Scuba Diving with the 30. These pins are pretty good size. That's let me put it in the palm of my hand. You can see it takes up a pretty good spot in my palm. So these are pretty good sized pins that are here. So I wouldn't trade these for, say, a hidden Mickey unless I really needed it. I think on average these pins would resell individually for probably $7-8 a piece, if not more, just depending on the buyer, because of course these were a open set. This is not a limited edition box. There's no limited edition number. It really is kind of anybody could have these and probably anywhere. So they're not going to be as expensive to complete. But I will tell you this, when you're purchasing pins on eBay, and I'm going to slide the board so you can see some of the other ones up here. When you are purchasing pins on eBay, make sure you're purchasing from a very well-known seller, somebody that is not going to sell you scrapper pins or fakes of any kind. That happens quite frequently, unfortunately, and you end up with poor pins. I showed you some of those last week of the the Orange Birds pins. Some of those are fakes, and I ordered those from online sellers. Again, just be cautious with these. There's probably not going to be as many scrappers as there would be hidden Mickeys. But in this case, these are all legit pins. They do all have the original seal, and I actually do have the seller actually sent me a box for each 2 pins, so I have extra boxes as well that I have to keep for this collection. So this is one of my favorites. I really like Epcot, as you guys know. I really enjoy the Epcot old school stuff and the looks of it. One of my favorites in the set is this one here from the Universe of Energy with the dinosaur. We also have the Body Wars on here as well from the I think the Life Pavilion. I always forget what that pavilion is because it's been gone for so long. Wonders of Life, that's it. Wonders of Life Pavilion. And then you have other, ones here. This is Living with the Land, or the Land Pavilion, with the Kitchen Cabaret characters. Oh, I'm sorry, I had them backwards. This is the Universe of Energy one. I just completely blanked out. I apologize. This is the Universe of Energy one. I glanced over. I'm trying to look, and I apologize. I'm trying to look at the camera, which is stationary up here, and I'm looking at an angle to see it. So yes, this is it. I'm sorry, because I did have a weak spot for Universe of Energy, so it's one of my favorites of the entire set. And I can't take this off to show you what's on the back, unfortunately, because it is kind of double-sided tape mounted to it, but it shows you on the back the pins as well. So that is the full set of the 30th anniversary pins. I'm looking forward to getting the other set that they just put out for the 35th. And the 35th, as far as I know and what research I've seen, it is, again, the original pavilions for our Future World logos in this size, I do believe. And I'm really looking forward to that set because I really, really love the original pavilion logos and the vintage look that they have. So more than likely, once I get the 35th set, it will go in a framed box just like this, and it will be displayed on the wall. So there you have it. It's not new pins to me, but it's definitely new pins to you. Gives you a little more up close view of them. What I will do is I will take a moment after this little conversation and kind of show you them a little more closely so you can see them. But are you excited for collecting that type of pin? Do you like these pin sets, these mystery sets? I plan on doing some mystery unboxings for you guys while I'm at Disney. They may end up being separate videos from a trip while at Disney. I may save them for when I get home. More than likely I won't. I'm a weakling when it comes to the mystery boxes. I can't hold on to them. I am terrible about them. I want to open them and open them now so I can see what's in them. So yes, this is one of the sets that I liked. I'm going to work on the Epcot 35th one because I want the full set of it. And I also am looking forward to the mystery set for the Haunted Mansion, which is a limited edition, if I remember correctly, that creates the pewter bat when you put them all together. It's one of those puzzle piece pin sets. So lots of pins, looking forward to it. Let me give you a little closer look. Alright, so let's take a little bit closer look here at the ones, and I'll move them around. I didn't want to pull them off the board, because if I pull them off the board, getting them back on the board in the exact spot is an absolute nightmare. I had a friend that was over for the 4th of July, and I keep most of my pins that I really like displayed in cases like this. And I have all of the Hidden Mickey cast member costume pins. And they are also in a frame, and he accidentally knocked them off. When he knocked those pins off the wall, first I thought he had shattered the glass on the frame, but he didn't, fortunately. But all of the pins popped off, and so I had to go in and redo the pins on the board. And I will tell you, those things are small, and they were not easy to do. As you can see with some of these pins, the detail is really nice. It is really true and clear. You can see Figment. I'm going to reach here and show you. You can see Figment in detail right down to his pupil. His coloring is really nice. The glitter does add a nice touch. It's shellacked over, so it's not going to come off or flake off on you. but the coloring on them is just really, really good. You can even see the tip of the bottom of his foot is a darker purple, but it's not the same purple as this does to get lost. So it's just a really quality set of pins. So there you have it. There is my 30th anniversary collection of pins. These all are my duplicates, and I will put a picture of these up on my social media through either Instagram or Twitter. And if you are interested in any of these pins, please feel free to reach out to me and just do private message either there or on here even, and let me know which one you like. And we can possibly talk about doing some trading, because honestly, these are just sitting here collecting dust, and I'd like to see them end up in somebody's home that enjoys them just as much as I do.